Is XRP the ultimate strategic reserve asset? Many claim Bitcoin is the only choice, but no one seems to explain why. They just stop at inherent properties without digging deeper. Well, I'm here to challenge that narrative. In this video, I'll break down why XRP outshines Bitcoin as a strategic reserve asset. I'll dive into the facts, debunk the myths, and, for those who love a good twist, share a wild conspiracy theory about how XRP might just take the crown. Buckle up. I've been trading crypto successfully for over 380 days, consistently closing every month in profit. In the last 90 days alone, my followers have earned over $29,000 in profits by copying my trades. Want to see my verified stats? Click the first link in the profile description and start copying my trades for free today. This is a conversation you don't want to miss. All right, let's dive right in. I think you're going to find this really interesting. The inspiration for this video came from a debate I had with some Bitcoin enthusiasts. The topic: what's the better strategic reserve asset, Bitcoin or XRP? It was fascinating, especially hearing the Bitcoiners' arguments about why they think Bitcoin is superior for this role. Their main point: Bitcoin was created to be a strategic reserve asset. It's the only cryptocurrency with the properties needed for that purpose. That statement made me pause. Really? Is that what sets Bitcoin apart from XRP? When you break it down, I think you'll see they've got it completely backwards. First off, Bitcoin wasn't created to be a strategic reserve asset at all. Satoshi Nakamoto's original vision was for Bitcoin to be a peer-to-peer payment network, to enable transactions between people without the need for a central authority. And let's not downplay how revolutionary that was. Bitcoin changed the game, kickstarting the cryptocurrency revolution. Even though it wasn't the fastest or most efficient system, it was groundbreaking. But here's the thing: many Bitcoin advocates today push the narrative that Bitcoin is digital gold, designed to store wealth and preserve value. Yet that's not its origin story. Bitcoin was a payment network first, not a vault. So when we dig deeper into the differences between Bitcoin and XRP, we might find that the conversation about which is the better strategic reserve asset isn't as cut and dry as some might think. Bitcoin was never meant to be digital gold. Satoshi's white paper made it clear: Bitcoin was designed as a peer-to-peer payment system to cut out banks, real, decentralized money for the people. Fast forward to today, and some Bitcoiners have flipped the script, pushing a shiny new narrative that Bitcoin is a store of value. Even Jack Dorsey has said that if Bitcoin becomes just a store of value, it's failed as a technology. Let's be real. This new digital gold label is nothing more than a marketing ploy. It directly contradicts Satoshi's vision. Bitcoin was supposed to revolutionize payments, not sit idle in vaults as institutions pump the price. Ironically, these same Bitcoiners who bash XRP as a banker's coin are rebranding Bitcoin to fit the very system it was created to disrupt. The argument that Bitcoin could be a strategic reserve asset completely falls apart when you realize that's the opposite of what it was intended to be. And here's the kicker: when you dig into the fundamentals, Bitcoin and XRP aren't all that different, except XRP might actually be better as a reserve asset. Why? Sure, Bitcoin has a capped supply, which is great for avoiding inflation, but XRP takes it a step further. It's deflationary. So if you're really chasing this reserve asset dream, XRP might just outshine Bitcoin in the long run. When it comes to cryptocurrency tokenomics, XRP has some clear advantages over Bitcoin as a potential reserve asset. Let's break it down. What's the plan here? Stash Bitcoin in a strategic reserve and let it sit there? Or use it to gain an edge in the evolving financial system? The reality is, Bitcoin isn't being built out for broader utility. Its ecosystem largely remains stagnant. Meanwhile, XRP is powering forward, with Ripple collaborating with central banks, governments, and major institutions on real-world applications for the XRP ledger. The difference is striking. From a tokenomic standpoint, Bitcoin doesn't outshine XRP as a reserve asset, and when it comes to functionality, Bitcoin's network falls short. It's not built for versatility. On the flip side, the XRP ledger is buzzing with activity, supporting diverse use cases. Fundamentally, one blockchain isn't better than the other for strategic reserves, but XRP is clearly pulling ahead in functionality and innovation. And here's the kicker: decentralization. Many argue Bitcoin is more decentralized than XRP, but when you dig deeper, there's a strong case that the XRP ledger is, in fact, more decentralized. That's worth exploring, but let's save it for another time. Now, a common critique from Bitcoin purists is that Ripple holds too much XRP. But here's the twist. They're misunderstanding why this could actually be beneficial. More on that in a moment. Finally, let's consider this. If Bitcoin were chosen as a reserve asset, the US would never dominate the supply. Sure, it could hold a significant amount, but becoming a Bitcoin whale? Not happening. Can they really stack enough Bitcoin to reach 1 billion? Even if they do, let's be real. Will they ever catch up to Michael Saylor? And what about Satoshi, the mysterious, faceless entity who could be anyone, a nobody, a genius, or even the Chinese government? Are they really going to let some unknown figure hold the largest stash of Bitcoin, the asset they want as a strategic reserve? Imagine saying, "We've got the second biggest holding, but the top holder? Yeah, no clue who that is." That's a massive liability. How can the United States let that slide if Bitcoin becomes a critical reserve asset, especially under someone like Trump? He'd want to dominate, to be the biggest whale in the ecosystem. But you can't do that when the largest holder might be your greatest rival. And that's the vulnerability here. Not knowing who Satoshi is creates a huge risk for Bitcoin's role as a strategic reserve. Now let's compare. Sure, Ripple holds a disproportionate amount of XRP, but at least we know who Ripple is. We know it's an American company with identifiable players. With Satoshi, it's a black hole. Maybe it's the CCP, maybe it's someone else. We all know who Ripple is, but there's an even bigger argument working in their favor. Not all XRP has been distributed yet. In fact, Ripple still holds a significant portion of it, and here's why that's a game changer. If the United States wanted to secure a strategic reserve asset, something they could hold in large quantities compared to others in the network, XRP is the obvious choice. Why? Because Ripple's reserve is so substantial that a large allocation could be made without significantly impacting XRP's price. Think about it. Ripple's CEO, Brad Garlinghouse, has openly stated their ambition to make XRP a digital reserve currency. If that's been their end game from day one, wouldn't it make sense for Ripple to ensure the US gets its share? After all, how do you create a global digital reserve asset without involving the world's top economic superpower? Here's the intriguing part. Has the US government already been allocated a slice of Ripple's escrow? We know Ripple has made allocations before. Greg Kidd, for example, received one. So is the US already holding a piece of the XRP pie? I'd bet yes. Ripple's always been 15 steps ahead, and if their goal is to work with governments and institutions, ensuring the US is on board would be a no-brainer. Ripple has always recognized the massive potential of XRP, not just hype from influencers, but straight from Ripple's leadership, including Brad Garlinghouse. From the start, they've envisioned XRP as a global reserve digital asset. To achieve that level of impact, the most powerful institutions need to hold XRP. And here's the kicker. What if the US government became one of the largest holders? It's not as far-fetched as it sounds. Imagine this. The US government sees XRP as a strategic reserve asset. Why wouldn't they? They could obtain XRP directly from Ripple through OTC deals, quietly accumulating without driving up the price. They'd emerge as the dominant player in this new digital financial system, a position they simply can't achieve with other major cryptocurrencies. Here's why. Many other tokens were distributed too quickly, landing in the hands of anti-institution holders who will never sell. That leaves little room for big players to get a significant stake. Ripple, on the other hand, played the long game. They've kept enough XRP in reserve to allow major institutions, or even governments, to step in and take a meaningful position. Institutions don't want to buy in at peak prices. They want to establish their allocation first, then watch the value grow. XRP offers that unique opportunity. I'd even argue this has always been Ripple's strategy. From day one, they've positioned XRP as a digital strategic reserve asset, and they're perfectly set up to make it a reality. Compare that to Bitcoin. Sure, the narrative of Bitcoin as a reserve asset is being pushed hard, but let's be real. It's a recent spin by Bitcoiners desperate to keep the momentum going. Bitcoin started as a rebellion against governments and banks. Now its advocates are pleading with those same institutions for adoption. It feels like a contradiction, doesn't it? In contrast, XRP's vision has been consistent. It's better positioned to be the global digital reserve asset. That's been its mission from the beginning. Ripple isn't scrambling to fit a new narrative. They've stayed the course. So ask yourself, which asset truly has the infrastructure, the strategy, and the potential to lead the future of finance? Thanks for tuning in. Hope this opened your eyes to why XRP stands out in a crowded crypto landscape. Stay tuned for more updates.